Imagine a camera that's got all the pro vibes, but it's like your best friend in a digital box. Well, that's Sony's new A93. Let's look at this thing.
Alpha.
At the event in San Diego, Sony recently dropped a bombshell with their A93. And the thing I'm most excited about is the fact that they've equipped it with a full frame global shutter image sensor, the world's first. In case you're not familiar with what this means, think of it this way. Unlike the usual rolling shutter found in most mirrorless cameras, which captures an image sequentially from top to bottom, the global shutter exposes and reads all pixels simultaneously, meaning that normally when you take a picture, it's like the camera blinks one part of the image, one after another, almost as if you're blinking your eyes from top to bottom. But with the global shutter, it's like taking a picture all at once, super fast. No more rolling shutter, which means now you can shoot at a blistering 120 frames per second without the fear of wobbly images. But why did it take Sony this long? You see, creating a global shutter for a camera isn't a walk in the park. I'm sure Brett can tell you all about this, but you might wonder, why are other camera brands not doing this? Why haven't they done this before? Well, it's not like they weren't trying. Developing a global shutter that delivers exceptional performance, especially for high-end cameras like this, is no small feat. I say high-end because this camera isn't very budget friendly, and we'll talk about the price shortly. But overall, it's a complex piece of tech and it takes time to develop. It's all about finding that perfect balance between technology, affordability, and what creators need. What does this global shutter mean for the future of Sony's camera releases going forward? Now, while I don't have a crystal ball, I can say this. It's a strong indication of where Sony is headed. The A93 sets the bar high. We can expect that Sony might start to incorporate global shutters into more of their cameras, especially in a professional line. Maybe the FX3 or FX6 Mark II. I don't know, but this innovation opens up a new world of possibilities for users. And once again, this is proof that every camera currently on the market now is good enough if you know what you're doing. The second thing to know is Sony's integration of machine learning into their cameras. This is the way now. Sony's not playing around when it comes to autofocus. This camera boasts the most advanced autofocus system backed by the magic of AI. It's like having a personal focus puller wizard with up to 120 autofocus and auto exposure calculations per second. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about that yet, but I'm sure people felt that way when autofocus first came out too. Now, even though Sony's IBIS historically isn't anywhere as good as the Lumix, they still keep trying to upgrade in that department, which is a welcome development, and I appreciate that. This camera features 8 stops of 5-axis and body image stabilization. In plain English, it means you can get some seriously crisp shots without a tripod. Now, this take might be controversial, but the reason Sony's IBIS might not be appreciated as much as it should be is that, there's the Lumix alien level stabe, but also there's so many amazing features and gadgets out there now. People often get caught up in the excitement of new toys and technologies, and image stabilization might not always be the star of the show, especially when it's not god level. Quick intermission, the guys at YouTube have told me that a lot of you who watch my content aren't subscribed. If you found this video helpful thus far, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell. Back to the video. Speed demons, this one's for you. I'm talking about photographers here. The A93 hits up to a blazing 120 frames per second with autofocus tracking. It's like having a superhuman camera that can capture moments even your eyes cannot see. Why do you even need that much speed? Are you a monster? Also, one of the features that they sort of just glossed over is the one where you can fine-tune white balance even after the shot's taken. Even though this isn't raw, it's still a welcome development, but I'm not sure if that's also in video. I will have to confirm that with further testing. In terms of focusing on this thing, it can focus down to -5 stops of exposure in low light, even at f/22, and it can shoot up to 4K 120p high frame rate video without cropping. It also has the standard S-Cinetone S-Log3 and is compatible with the Creators app for monitoring and control. But the all-important question here, how much? What is the damage to your wallet? Well, you can get your hands on this camera for $5,999, which is an indication of the type of audience this camera is geared towards. More professional, just below the cine line type of creators, because this thing is pricey. So, should you buy this camera? I think there are a few things for you to consider before picking this up. First, assess your specific needs as a photographer or videographer. Consider the type of photography or video that you do, whether it's sports, portraits, landscapes, or events. The features in this camera are geared towards professionals and serious enthusiasts, maybe towards photographers more than videographers, as shown from their product release video. The second thing you should consider is the budget. The price of this camera is a significant factor, and show that it fits within your budget, and consider any additional cost for lenses and accessories. Number 3 is future proofing. Think about whether the camera meets your needs, not just now, but for the foreseeable future. This camera's advanced features makes it a solid choice, but make sure that you evaluate this from your point of view. Number 4, compare this camera to other cameras in its class, maybe the A7S3, the FX3. Research and consider reviews and recommendations from trusted sources, like colleagues who have used this in the real world. This will help you out a lot. Number 5 is the ecosystem. If you already have Sony lenses or accessories, the Alpha 9 might be a more seamless addition to your gear. And lastly, if possible, visit a camera store to handle the camera and try it out in person. It's important to see how it feels in your hands. Ultimately, whether it's a good purchase depends on your specific requirements and how well this camera aligns with them. Consider these factors and do your research to make an informed decision. Your new best friend for pro-level photography and cinematography. It has all the cool tech to make you feel like a real filmmaker, whatever that means. Bye.